Welcome back to coverage of the Innistrad Championship. Cedric, I'm very excited for this next matchup. It features Golgari food, and I'm not sure if you know why I'm so excited.
It features Golgari food, and you're holding your cat. Is your cat aware of what a witch's oven is?
Yes, maybe I shouldn't have the cat, but yeah, we're gonna see a bunch of Cauldron Familiar shenanigans here. Golgari food versus Mono Red Madness. We've seen Raphael Levy in action with this deck. We haven't seen, personally, Golgari food in action, so I am very, very, very excited. This little Ravenous Squirrel is such a cool addition. I love Meathook Massacre, that it's a 2-mana spell that Lurrus can get back. I'm jazzed for this. I don't know if you can tell.
I'm here for it as well. I really hope your cat's okay with everything that's taking place. Okay, good. This Golgari food deck was one of the decks to kind of look out for coming to this event. It's pretty unique. We've seen various food strategies, most notably Jun Food and Jun Company and Mayhem Devil, but this deck apparently doesn't need it, which is pretty interesting to me.
It's a lot more streamlined in its mana base, at least. And I do love that, you can just play Meathook Massacre. You don't really need it to kill anything. It just can be on the battlefield, and if stuff dies as you're sacrificing things, your opponent's losing life. So it's kind of like Mayhem Devil Light, if we can call it that.
We can, and we will. And cool. We just did.
Things are getting underway here. We got a Gilded Goose down in the battlefield. Gonna make some food tokens there. Bomat Courier won't be able to get through, but can get an extra card off the top of the library here.
Yeah, this Bomat Courier can kind of go... This thing can kind of go ham. Like, there are 2 Root Wallas and a Fiery Temper to discard for Madness, and you prefer to have Mana Gorger Phoenix in the graveyard.
Yeah. I mean...
So...
Let's just do it.
So...
Ba-boomba. Seems good. Oh, you want to, Raph.
And you can kill the Gilded Goose?
Yeah, that's so cool. Just everything.
All in.
Let's
Mostly
go.
in. Mostly in.
This is what this deck wants to do. We haven't gotten to see it do its thing just yet. I was like, oh man, the Faithless Looting would be great. No, you have the Bomat Courier to do that for you, so.
Advantage bar Raph, all the way to the top. All the way to the top after that. After this turn? You kidding?
Yeah, that was pretty darn fiery indeed. And Den of the Bugbear and Mountain, not what you really want to see. Den of the Bugbear is nice, but need to find some more action here for Raph Levy.
That's it. So that turn's sweet, and you can pump up the Brazen Root Wallas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it's really important for Raph. Though I really did like that turn. We need a spell next turn.
Yeah. Definitely want to keep pushing the advantage here. Keep control of this battlefield as Cat and Oven might be making an appearance. Or are we going to go for the Shambling Ghost to start things off here? It's going to be the Cauldron Familiar. That'll get in the way, and we'll start this little cycle.
Hey!
Ooh, Seasoned Pyromancer, heck yeah. That's a goodie.
I think that's
gonna join the board. Oh wow, yeah, that also gets the Mana Gorger Phoenix out. Oh,
yeah. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking with gas. So no attack there. Blazing Root Wall is just gonna hang back. We're gonna see the cat sack and come back when Riku Kumagai so chooses. Are we gonna see? Nah, it's too early for Meathook.
Yeah, I think there's still seems like there's some more setup required here. Might be Ravenous Squirrel time.
There's Ravenous Squirrel. There's the Fatal Push, which can take care of the Pyromancer or the Mana Gorger Phoenix.
This is getting a little ugly. Getting a little ugly from on a red side.
Yep.
Gonna sneakily move the advantage bar.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
But Cedric, there are birds. Look at them.
I see.
They're glorious. They're going to be dead soon, but Yeah, on Raph's side of things, Den of the Bugbear, Unholy Heat is active, so can kill that squirrel when it gets big and chunky. And also the Dragon's Rage Channeler, so do some surveilling there.
Beatdowns? Yeah, the most clear. the most clear cut of them.
Just a bop.
Yep.
Pyromancer and the Root Wallers look like they're going to be hanging back. Oh,
Ooh.
no. Yeah, getting frisky, as you like to say.
Does that get us anywhere?
Not particularly.
Pyromancer? It's just what? It's just a...
Maybe just wants
jump.
Dead?
I guess. Just pretty clean block with the Familiar, I presume.
Mm. Cauldron Familiar in the way once again, and we'll see the same process repeated, where the Witch's Oven can sacrifice it, make a food token, and it'll come back again. Oh, it's so cool. I really
this
like
deck is pretty.
Squirrel.
This deck is rad. I mean, Rad the Squirrel is a super cool card for Modern Horizons 2. But when this deck has its engine online, it's extremely hard for an opposing creature deck to beat.
Yeah. It just churns through its deck so much easier. Typically, you know, with like 12 crumbs. Dragon's Rage Chandler is going to hit the battlefield here. And when is this Fatal Push going to get fired off? That's what I want to know. Unholy Heat. Iron out that squirrel.
Yeah, so if you heat up the squirrel, it's going to be... It does have Delirium. What?
You said heat
what?
up the squirrel.
What? What did I do wrong?
You did nothing wrong. It was just funny.
Looks like Looting's going to go in the graveyard from the DRC. Yeah. And now the squirrel's going to be roasty toasty. All right.
Roasted chestnuts.
That's right. On an open flame.
Anyway, we're professionals, I promise. There's a Soul Guide Lantern. That's not too terrible.
It's actually pretty good in this matchup. This deck does use its graveyard.
I can get rid of Faithless Looting and essentially put Raph in top deck mode.
It has Looting, Pyromancer, Phoenix, some other stuff. So there are some targets for Soul Guide Lantern. It's just kind of a good card to have in the main deck of this event. Because there's plenty of decks that use the graveyard.
Sure. Soul Guide Lantern is going to be the play here for Riku Kumagai. I'm going to exile a card. It's going to go after Faithless Looting. So bye-bye for now.
Yep.
And now we're going to draw a card here. Just to try and find land number 4. There's a Deadly Dispute. Can fire that off on the Shambling Ghost. Oh, no, excuse me. Those aren't treasures. Those are foods.
Smashing. Well, smashing is fine insofar as kind of plays both roles. Land's not the worst spot to be in.
Yeah, an extra land would get the den up.
Yep.
I think with this kind of deck, you really need to go wide, or against this kind of deck.
Yeah, against what Kumagai's doing, yeah.
Yeah, there's always this one little irritating thing on the battlefield. Now, Shambling Ghost is usually a 2-for-1, right? You can either make a treasure token off of it, it's a blocker. Otherwise, you use its //- ability to get rid of one of these Blazing Root Wallers, so... let's see where we go. Nice. I like it. Get shovey. Here comes the Den of the Bugbear. Likely to see the Fatal Push now.
Yep.
Getting rid of that before it can create the 1/1.
You could use this to activate the Blazing Root Waller, sure.
What's that? 3, 6, 9, 12 damage? It's a respectable chunk. Kitty Cat's gonna come on back. Jump in the way of one of these creatures. And we'll be able to chain this together one more time. One thing that's super powerful about this deck is that it just gains so much incidental life with this cat oven combo, being able to sacrifice the food every time the cat enters. It's gaining you another life. So even with these beatdowns that Raphael Levy is delivering, it's still just hanging out. Meathook Massacre is going to come on down, wipe up this battlefield, and now Raph is in top deck mode. All that life gained from all those creatures dying. Ramonap Runes, not too shabby. Seasoned Pyromancer can be utilized here to get the 2 1/1s onto the battlefield. Let's see where we go. Cat back on the battlefield. And the turn is going to be shipped back to Riku once he's done with his rotation. So all the while, this cat is dealing damage to Raphael Levy, so down to 12. We'll be looking for something to accelerate this life loss here for Raphael Levy. Let's see if we can find it. There's a land, and there is also the concession from Raphael Levy. He sees the writing on the wall. He knows that the Seasoned Pyromancer won't be enough at this point, and Riku Kumagai is able to lock the French Hall of Famer out of game number 1. So we're going to go to sideboards here and take a look at what tools are available to both these players against each other in this matchup. Let's see if Raf can find some more ways to deal with the pesky nonsense that that Riku Kumagai has brought to the party here today. See a couple of extra removal spells coming in, extra destroy permanent spells from Riku Kumagai. Mortality Spear being brought in. Trimming a couple of Pillar of Flames from Raphael Levy's side of things. Now it does appear as if Cedric has been locked in an oven somewhere, and we will return him shortly. Preferably not as a food token, because I'm not sure how good those are at verbalizing things. But it's a pretty tough matchup here for Raph. As we mentioned in the previous round where we saw him, his deck doesn't exactly put on all that much pressure. So he's going to have to try and close out this game as quick as he possibly can, because all this incidental life gain from Riku Kumagai is certainly helping his winning ways. Lots of changes being made here for both these players. While we finish up the sideboarding, just want to say a big thank you to everyone for hanging out with us today, watching as we try and find our top 8 for tomorrow's action. Riku Kumagai and Raphael Levy both at 7-2. If a player gets to 12 wins, they are good to go for the top 8. And it's a pretty darn good top 8 as well, because as soon as you win a game in the top 8, you lock yourself in for the next World Championship. So plenty to play for here, as well as $450,000 in prizes. So big money up for grabs. All right, let's jump into game number 2 here. Take a look at our opening hands. This is quite a nice one here for Raphael Levy. Has that Bomat Courier, has the Dragon's Rage Channeler, and has 2 spells to discard for Madness in Fiery Temper. Also has the Rampaging Ferocidon, which can prevent the life gain from an annoying little interaction like what Riku Kumagai is playing, and will also deal a damage every time the creature enters the battlefield. So every time there's a Cat Oven combo loop, that guy's going to do a couple pings to the face. Dragon's Rage Channeler hits the battlefield alongside the Bomat Courier. Just have the little 0-1 plant token there off of Kalini Garden. A pretty nice hand too. You see 2 copies of Trail of Crumbs, so that'll be able to help Riku Kumagai dig deeper into his library. Even though he didn't really need it in the first round or the first game, he certainly would like to accelerate what he's doing. Let's see where he goes to here. Does have the Ravenous Squirrel. Does have the Oven. No cat just yet. Also has the Gilded Goose. The Gilded Goose Trail of Crumbs combo has been known to be a very powerful one. So Phyrexian Tower is going to sacrifice the little plant, and we're going to have 3 mana available here to get out the Meathook Massacre. Nice. Okay, will this get a response from the Bomat Courier? Is it worth discarding all these cards in hand? I've got to say, in the first game it was a lot more tempting to do so with the Madness cards that were available to Ref, but discarding Ferocidon and Chandra? I'm not sure if he's too tempted about that. It's a big thing here, and it looks like we're gonna go for the sacrifice, so Unfortunately, won't be able to play the madness spells. No mana available. But we'll get a bunch of cards in the bin there for the Dragon's Rage Channeler. So now we have a 3/3 on the battlefield. That keeps it alive, importantly. And Bomat Courier drawn at the top of the library. It's like, you can't keep me down, and it's going to keep on swinging. So in for 4 goes Raphael Levy. Trying to get this game over and done with as quick as possible. Riku Kumagai with the Witch's Oven. That's going to hit the battlefield. And a Gilded Goose to follow up. And generate a food token. We'll do a decent job of blocking the Bomat Courier for the time being. And now we're going to see the Ravenous Squirrel hit the battlefield too. So as the turn comes back, Raph would have loved to find something like a Faithless Looting, but unfortunately it's just going to be another land. Bomat Courier is going to swing on in. If it's blocked by the squirrel, we will likely see it sacrificed to get those 2 cards out from under it and hope that there's something useful. Now the squirrel can be saved by sacrificing the goose if he decides that it's worthwhile. Squirrel goes down, a couple of extra life. And no sacrifice of the Bomat Courier there, so happy to do that trade. Trail of Crumbs hits the battlefield, and now we're going to see Gilded Goose do this fun little thing where it sacrifices a food token, generates the mana, and is able to use that mana to pay for Trail of Crumbs. Look at permanents on top of the library and put 1 to hand. So let's have a look, see what Riku Kumagai is working with here. And what's going to join his hand. So one of the creature lands and Gilded Goose. Number 2 hits the battlefield, however the Eye Tyrant also down for Riku Kumagai. He's looking very, very good at this stage. Fiery Temper is the draw. It's not the worst, but would love to find something a little bit more useful. Dragon's Rage Channeler has to attack, so we'll swing in here. And one of these geese are going to hop in the way. See the sacrifice, a Meathook Massacre trigger, an additional life loss for Raph. And Fiery Temper can take care of the goose or just send it upstairs. I'll be interested to see where he goes with this. It's going to go to goose number 2 to prevent that little engine of Gilded Goose and Trail of Crumbs. And there's another Dragon's Rage channel off the top of the library, so happy to have that there. Oh, another Meathook Massacre. This one as it stands can't kill this Dragon's Rage Channeler, so likely won't see that played. Deadly Dispute will sacrifice a food token. That will also trigger Trail of Crumbs. We'll see it paid for there. Do we find another land? Nope, it's another Meathook Massacre. But there's another land, and there is a cat. So now things are looking super bad here for the Frenchman. He does not like this cat, doesn't want it crossing his path at all. And he's going to scoop it up there and give the victory to Riku Kumagai. Cedric unfortunately had a couple of technical issues, but I'm pretty sure whatever he would say now would be very, very, very intelligent. So I'll have to